There is a lake in the immediate vicinity of our village. It looks like an ordinary body of water, but my grandmother told me a mysterious story about it. When she was young, she said, she and her friend heard a rumor that a woman had drowned in this lake. She was extremely attractive, but unhappy in love. Men dumped her one by one, and it is said that this was the cause of her tragic death. After her death, her soul, according to legend, took up residence in the lake, giving the girls bathing in it beauty, but depriving them of happiness. At that time, my grandmother's friend fell in love with a guy who was the object of admiration of the whole village, and the friend herself, frankly speaking, was not distinguished by a special external attractiveness. She persuaded my grandmother to go swimming with her at night in the lake to borrow beauty from the drowned woman. One day they went to the lake. Nothing unusual happened. The girls just joked and went back home. The next night, the friend again persuaded her grandmother to join her. But as soon as they got on the road to the lake, the friend noticed the beauty of the moon and the bright night, assuring her that nothing terrible would happen. They separated and entered the water. Suddenly, my grandmother felt something cold swimming under her feet. She thought it was a fish, but then she saw a light mark on the water that looked like a white dress. My grandmother got scared and ran out of the water screaming. But her friend only laughed, saying that the grandmother was a coward and was scared of the fish. Grandma was about to go back into the water, but then she saw a strange white trail heading towards her friend. The friend didn't see it, only laughed. Her grandmother called out to her, but her friend did not respond. Suddenly a white trail began to wrap around her, but instead of fear, the friend seemed happy about it, as if she wished for it. The plume enveloped her body, growing brighter with each passing second. The friend raised her arms and laughed. Grandma was frightened and closed her eyes, so she didn't see what happened next, but she heard the sound of water like a waterfall. After a while everything became quiet. Grandma didn't dare to open her eyes until her friend called out to her. She ran up and started to ask what had happened. But the grandmother only waved her hands, saying that she had imagined it, and her friend was just floating, preparing to go home. Perhaps it was just a hallucination of the grandmother, but soon after that the friend started dating that guy and it seemed that something changed in her. But their happiness was short-lived. The guy died and she left the village, and her grandmother never saw her again.